G'day and welcome to this week's video. My name's Robert Gowdy, and this week we're going to have a look at farm management deposits and comparing that to superannuation contributions as an alternative. So if you're not a farmer, you can stop watching straight away, but if you are a farmer, and particularly if you're a farmer that's over 55, then it may well be worth watching this video. So what are FMDs? Obviously most people know what they are. Obviously it allows primary producers to put aside pre-tax income into a farm management deposit, and that's obviously income from their farm. Now the income can be drawn in future years if needed, so ideally in very high income years where tax rates are very high, that you put your money into FMDs, you get a nice tax deduction and you don't pay any tax on that money. Each individual can have up to $800,000, so these FMDs can be a very big number between a family unit, between a husband and wife partnership. So you can claim a tax deduction for the money that you put into an FMD, and they can't be withdrawn in the first 12 months. And of course, if you do withdraw them, then the money is then taxed, including your taxable income. So the important thing to know about FMDs, they're obviously perfect for drought proofing your farm, having some money set aside for the bad year when it comes, because they are always going to come at some stage. But locally here in my area, we haven't had a really bad year in some parts for 4 years, and the years have been absolutely bumper all the way along. So there are big numbers of FMDs around, but we've got to understand we are just kicking the can down the road. At some stage this money needs to come back into our own names as taxable income and tax. So we're not meeting our obligations on it, we're just deferring it. So if we just go to the next slide. So in my view, it's all about your age. And what I've seen recently is where some of my clients and farming clients that are over 60 and not far off 65 are ignoring their superannuation and still ploughing money into FMDs. And I personally think that's a mistake. So as you get closer to age 65, superannuation should be, in my view, number one contribution. Now we know we can only put 25 grand in. We've got some clients that put 100 grand into superannuation, into FMDs each year. But I don't think superannuation should be ignored. And the reason why is that the 25 grand you put into superannuation, you are actually paying your dues on that. You're paying tax at 15%. And once that money goes in and you're at 65, you can withdraw it straight away. So you don't need to wait up to 12 months like you do FMDs. And as I said, FMDs merely push taxable income into a future year. So obviously some farmers do have trouble getting them out, particularly in my area here where it's been good year after good year after good year, they're adding to them. At what stage do they come out, particularly when they're getting up to $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 each into superannuation? And of course, you definitely do not want to die with large amounts in farm management deposits, because all of that money comes out in one hit. So I definitely challenge everyone that 60 plus or even 50 onwards, if you've already got big amounts in FMDs, make sure you're getting the maximum concessional contributions into superannuation. And whilst it's only $25,000, it's not the amount you can put into FMDs. Make sure you use that if you've got plenty of cash reserves. For younger farmers who are in their 20s, 30s and 40s, of course FMDs make a huge amount more sense than superannuation, particularly while you're building up the levels of FMDs to give you that buffer for the tough years. But it's all about your age. As you get closer to 65, you should be making sure you max out your concessional contributions in the good years, and even as a strategy to reduce the amount you've got in FMDs, in a poor year you can take money out. Husband and wife can take out $50,000 and put in $25,000 each. So just my thoughts on FMDs. Please don't ignore superannuation. It needs to be part of the mix, particularly as you get closer to age 65. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week.